PunkTorah Productions. Sponsored by Darshan Yeshiva.
I have a confession to make. I don't know how to braid round challah. So I do make challah almost every Friday, and I do different recipes, stuff like that. Hey, if you have a cool recipe or recommendation, you can always throw it down in the comments, because I'm always trying to learn. And for me, challah is like an experiment. It's like a relationship between me and God, as far as like the ingredients of my week are, going to be what they are, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Like the ingredients remain the same, but the outcome of the week is always different. Same with challah. It's always the same ingredients for me, unless I throw different toppings or whatever. I never, braid stuff in or anything like that. So the ingredients of the challah are the same, but what I'm going to get out of it is going to be different. And so there's something very special about how, in some ways, the challah kind of represents the week that I've had in some ways. So the challah actually acts as an amazing learning experience for me, an opportunity for me to reflect at 5:30 in the morning, something like that, when I wake up and do this. That's, the normal challah oat. I don't know how to do a round one. I've never read the instructions on it. I've never tried ever. This is a total first time, 41 years old, don't know what I'm doing. I have not read any instructions in advance. This isn't one of those gimmicky, like, so-and-so tries to do something and whoa, #fail. This is literally me being a little vulnerable, I might say. So I'm going to give this a shot, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, so we have the challah, slightly deflated because I moved it, but the challah is not this whole bread. The challah is actually the separate portion that's taken off. This is a mitzvah that was done for the Kohanim, for the priests. You would take a certain amount of the challah bread, right? You would take your bread and you would have a section of it called challah that would be given to the priests. So we no longer have a temple priesthood. The priests can no longer accept challah, which I think is kind of a weird thing, because we still have the whole redemption of the firstborn, which is a thing that the Kohanim can still do. I don't know. I didn't make the rules. I just pretend to follow them. So, but we still have to deal with this challah situation. So a little bit of a circumcision. Different brachas, different ways of saying the bracha, different customs for saying the bracha, but the bracha is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvah tav v'tzivanu lahafrish challah. Bam. Now you're Jewish. Okay, so we've done that. So typically what happens, if you're really frum about it, is you're going to take this, put it in aluminum foil, and you're going to put it in the oven to burn. I've seen people throw it in like their backyards for the animals to eat. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Okay, so now the main event, the fact that I don't know how to braid challah. So I'm pretty sure it's 4 parts. And again, super deflated. So boy, is this going to look fun. So I'm going ahead and cut it. So when you do challah, you can't take the challah like we did, the whole like circumcision bit. You can't do that with separated strands. You have to do it from the whole thing. So now basically, I think I've seen the videos say that it's 4 strands. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's the case. So I'm going to go on ahead and just assume that. Oh boy, this is uneven. All right, wow, this is going to be real fun. Okay, so this is now double proofed at this point. And actually, whoa, look at how super uneven that is. This is going to be a party. Okay, so yeah, so I don't know how this works. I think you're supposed to overlap it in some way. I'm going to make an executive decision that it's something like this. And maybe I'll move these out of the way here. And then like this kind of an idea, something like that maybe, and then I don't know, okay, maybe, so it's round, but I think round happens at the end, so maybe it's something like this, like you kind of go like that kind of number. This is why it was traditionally a woman's mitzvah, because like women are better at following instructions than men, or so women in my life have told me. That could be sexist. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I go over again, something like that, and maybe under, and then like maybe something like that-ish. Okay, look, man, that is a whole big chunk of bread. Okay, and then maybe I'll kind of start like that kind of idea. I don't know. Something. It's still overlapping, right? Like, isn't that kind of the idea? Like with challah, you're always sort of over-undering, and now I don't know what to do with these like little dangly like tentacle things. Okay, so maybe like that. We'll just we'll just tuck a little bit, right? We'll just do that kind of action. Maybe we'll go up. Maybe it's like a skyscraper type of idea. Kind of stretch like that. Something maybe like that, and then like that or something, and then maybe it tucks, and then maybe that just goes to God. We're just not even going to worry about that one. Okay, so yeah, and then we'll just kind of crimp around the edges here. Yeah, okay. Let's try this guy. I got the parchment paper set up, and now we just have to see will this transfer. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh man, that's so ugly. Okay, and then maybe like that. Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. Now, I don't have my pastry brush, but I do have the egg wash, so we're just gonna kind of see what we can kind of come up with. Maybe something like that. I promise that when the challah is a normal braid, that I do a very good job. Please do not allow what you're seeing here to be in any way representative of who I am as a person or my commitment to Judaism. But we're just going to kind of do, little wash, wash, wash. Now, you can do, like, sweets in your challah. For Rosh Hashanah, you do, like, raisins. I've seen people do apricots and nuts. I'm keeping it classic. Yeah, I think that's about as much egg wash as a human being would want. Today, we're going to learn a word. It's toeva. Toeva is sometimes translated as ritually impure by some more liberal standards. I think that it best translates as the word abomination or abominate. This definitely fits in a Toeva category. But we're going to see, all people can be redeemed. Like if you have teshuva, right? It's a very theme to the holidays type of thing. So I'm going to stick this in the oven, 350 degrees. I usually do about 12 to 15 minutes. We'll see. We'll try this at 12 and we'll come back to it and see what happens. So I should also add, these cooking videos, normally you see them on like TikTok and whatever, they're usually BS, right? Because I'm supposed to put this in the oven and then another one comes out and I'm like, ta-da, look at how great I am. We straight up do not have that. What you see is what you get. So let's see how it goes. You know what? Actually, I think we're making some progress here. Terribly underbaked at this point. Got a little bit of omelet action kind of going on there. All right, so I'm going to give this another 5 minutes. It looks exactly the same. Okay, so another 8 minutes. See how that gets us. Okay, this has been a lot of minutes. Now I'm a little worried about okay. It's still really light though. That's the only thing is that okay. So the ultimate test is you flip the bread over, right? And then, oh, that's pretty. I mean, you can hear it. Welcome to the British Bake Chef. It's just that it's so light in color. We're gonna go another 5 minutes. This has got to be the last thing, though. It's got to just be these last 5. I've lost count. I think we're at 30 minutes almost by the end. By when we add an extra 5, that can't be. Whatever. All right. We're gonna see how we do here. Okay, extra 5. Okay, so the challah has been on the wire rack for just a little bit. I've set up this nice little board here. You got to have a really awesome challah knife, bread knife of any kind. I've got a little bit of honey, and don't you just love these stupid little tasting spoons? I mean, aren't they just ridiculous? Okay, Yeah, and then this challah cover, which came from the Queskin family. Shout out to the Queskin family for this really nice challah cover. So, Birshut, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lecha min haaretz. Look at that. See how we do here. It could have gone darker. I don't know if it would have tasted better. It's somehow extremely light and dense at the same time. Okay, this is clearly ugly as fill in the blank. But it's doable, right? Like, this could work in a pinch. You know, it ain't pretty, but, sometimes life isn't pretty. So I'm going to say on a scale of, like, A to F, I'm going to give myself a quality C-. Because if I had read the directions, maybe I'd be in the B- range. The little, omelets that you have everywhere because of the screw-ups with the egg wash. But, I mean, I think if I had done this poor of a quality, but it had, like, raisins and dried apricots and pistachios and things like that, everyone would go, "Oh, Rabbi, you did such a great job with the challah." And I'd go, "I know." But because it's just plain bread, it's kind of disappointing. So, Chag Sameach, everyone. Happy holidays. Sometimes, like, you just try stuff and you see what works. And I know that a lot of us in sort of the PunkTorah verse, we're always trying to figure out who we are and what we're about and how we do things. And look, if I can make this ugly ass challah and, still enjoy it, then, I think that's worth something. So, Shanah Tovah, Happy New Year, and try doing things that you're uncomfortable with.